Why? Hi. Um, I have never tried this before. Um, I have a burning desire, need to have a conversation. Um, I feel tears in my eyes. Um, anyway, this is about community, I think. I'm just doing this totally on the fly, encouraging your comments, again, with the intention of contributing to a conversation, an ongoing conversation, uh, to bring the inside out of what is happening in our collective consciousness as humanity. Um, yes, even the shadow side, I'm learning about, which is so important. So there's been this, I'm choked up. I'm not even sure what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say this, but there's been a set of experiences that I've had the last few months or maybe even the last year, as I've finally opened up and discovered how to come into the world through through community, through intentional community, through human development, through spirituality, through caring about our environment and nature. Um, this relatively new idea to me, which is permaculture. Um, so I've opened up starting about a year ago to finding like-minded people in my physical world instead of just online. Um, I've built online community since 2003 and decided to take a break from it and leave space in my life to see what my purpose is, to find out what will be revealed from within me and what will be manifested outside of me as a result of that inner work. And what came up for me was Northwest Permaculture Convergence, which I've attended two of now, and an intentional community near me in Tahuya, um, and which is a miracle. I am so grateful to Sahale um, and Good Enough Community for being my friend, for suddenly being 6 miles away from me. It's a total miracle. I always thought I would never be able to experience being a part of an intentional community because I live here and I'm very committed to building a home here. And we fought very hard to save this home. And after a 10-year battle, we won. And we're here. And we will always be here in this beautiful forest, which you can see in the background. So what is this stream of themes, this stream of experiences that I'm having? How do I find it within myself to be concise, to give you something to be aware of, that we all can become aware of, as I said in the description. I wrote the description first. I've never tried this live streaming YouTube and for just spontaneously streaming what's in my heart and what's on my mind. And so this is a first. So I know how I'm going to try to do this. I got a really good grade in school when I just reported my experience. And when I tried to put things together in my mind, on paper, I didn't get a good grade. So here's what's been happening. The first person who basically showed up to be a new friend from the last Northwest Permaculture Convergence is an amazing. She makes things happen. And for now, I'm not going to say her name, because I don't know how this works. I don't know how it's going to work, but my experience is important. I focused a lot in the last few years while this period of time where I've created a space to slow down and see what's inside of me, to see what emerges, and to find my purpose, or the expression of my purpose. Actionable expression, hopefully. One thing I've focused on is Joseph Campbell's advice, expressed through many other beings, that you can find on YouTube, which is follow your bliss. So follow your highest vibration, your highest desire, whatever is happening, that's the vibration that you desire or prefer, to follow that and to go with that highest, best feeling action, and to be responsive, which is, I followed a lot of, in my fighting depression, in my slowing down, to stay happy, which is an inner dictate, an inner message of God's will, of my higher consciousness's greatest desire or will, my soul's will, if you will, is to be happy. That is all that the highest divinity desires of me, is to be happy. And I could go on about that, but that's for another time, because it's important. I guess I'll just say that it's important to realize that you can't just avoid something that's uncomfortable, or you'll run into depression, right? You have to actually get out there on the edge of your experience, on the edge of what you're comfortable with a little bit, to discover what does light you up, right? So what have I experienced? Because I want to get that A+ and get you guys to start a conversation with me. I want this to be useful, to contribute to what we want to create for a better world. So what have I experienced? This first person who I invited to be my friend and come and visit me and come and visit Sahale, this intentional community near me, I found discomfort in myself. And this person is wonderful in continuing to collect people together to do something called a permablitz, which I'm excited about. I know that, it's like getting together to make something happen, to work together. Many hands make light work, so we can bring some of our permaculture visions, or, creating resilience in our lives to feed ourselves and provide for food and medicine and nature and beauty and harmony and peace and joy. Together, we can make those things happen. Income, which is another conversation. So recent experience number one is a discomfort with this person who's actually doing what I want to have happen. Bringing people together to get things done on different people's lands. It's called a permablitz, and apparently in the Pacific Northwest, we haven't had permablitzes. Maybe people like to be private. That's another concept that's come into my experience in my unintentional community here. the reason they're here is to be alone. So maybe that's a part of it. So I'm pulled in two directions. I'm wanting to follow my highest feelings, follow my bliss, follow what feels good, follow what's my preferences. And by doing that, that will bring more of it. And to be responsive, which is something I've learned my whole life, that I need to speak my truth faster. And I learned that in the Human Relations Lab. Again, that was reflected to me, how important it is to speak your truth faster. The faster, the better. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it out there. So I'm doing that here, I guess. So what do you do when you're uncomfortable with a person who's actually doing the things that you've been dreaming of towards creating that better world our hearts know is possible? Do I continue to follow that dictate of follow my bliss, follow my highest vibration, and not, I mean, I've definitely had experiences of not responding to discomfort and putting up with it, and things get worse. So maybe I just say no because I'm uncomfortable. Maybe that's the right thing to do. Do I go with this new dictate, this new truth, to be transparent, and say, that's not my way. My way is to follow what I'm feeling. My way is to not rush into things. It's a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving and there's a perma-blitz scheduled, and it just sounds like it's too much for me. I know Virginia Mosara would say, it doesn't matter if it, the more intense, the better. But I'm just at this phase, of my life. I'm just needing to be careful and needing to be responsive to my own needs. And I've gotten confirmation of the rightness of that the inner work is just as important as the outer work. After Global Earth Repair Conference, you get this feeling like we need to wake up. We need to know what's happening on the planet and what our future holds if we do nothing. And a lot of people are afraid to really look at the truth of what's happening and where we're going, the destruction that we humans have caused. And I've seen the value of waking up and looking at it, especially because we have all the solutions we need to fix everything, to change all the systems that don't work. So there's this feeling after Global Earth Repair Conference of, you've got to get out there and find the people that are doing things and do things with them and make things happen. And I'm finding that's a conflict with my own inner truth. That maybe the inner work is just as important. And yay, Charles Eisenstein confirms it. I love his videos. You guys, if you haven't heard of him, follow him on YouTube. He's wonderful. He's currently doing short videos, not just long ones, and doing short discussions. This, unfortunately, will not be so short. Well, maybe it will. So those are some of my experiences going for that direct reporting. I'm invited to a perma-blitz scheduled in a couple of weeks from now that is a whole weekend of building a house from trees that we cut and we debark. And yes, it's a what is the term? Cordwood or logwood building. I've never seen it. It's a beautiful house. It kind of looks like a stone building in images. To do all of this on Thanksgiving weekend in time to have a Thanksgiving meal inside of it. And it just, given my uncomfortable with this person, this new friend, and the tight scheduleness of it, and the need for me to finally have alone time after an intensely busy, peopled event, event after event, back-to-back events for at least August and September, I need to have alone time, introspection time. It's fall, it's getting colder outside, and I need to listen. I need to listen to my needs. So those are some of my experiences. Um, I have other things I want to talk to you about, like, to be perfectly transparent about other difficult experiences I've had, homelessness, the need to create shelters to take care of each other and yet be true to our own feelings when we're cautious about spending time with the person because they don't take us to the highest vibration. I'm a sensitive person. I basically manifested the hobbit vision of my youth. I mean, not hobbit, but hermit vision of my youth, and have craved the community and the people that I've wanted. And now I'm finding that the balance is important. It's important for me to have my own space, to come back to my little cave and heal and feel and become aware of myself, and my own responses, to have introspection time. And I also need people. And I so crave community. I want to build community. I want to network, the islands of heaven on earth. This is important to me. This is important to create heaven on earth. And it's important that we do this together and that we do it consciously and that we have communication, that we can create a safe space to have those inside out, transparent, honest communications to work through difficulties, to heal. So I want to have these other conversations, the need for people to have a way to make a living, to make an income. This has been a big issue for me. And I found my own solution, and I really intended to have a solution for others, but I just couldn't do it. I had to take a break from internet marketing or making an income through the internet. But the community building part is so alive in me. And we have all the solutions, and we have the spirituality, we have consciousness, we have our hearts wide open on our sleeves. We're ready to value feelings. We're ready to be honest, and we're ready to heal. So I think I'm going to end there. And again, please read the description in the video, because maybe I described it better there than I did live. But leave a comment, please, and get to know me. And let me get to know you. Thanks for watching. Let's continue this conversation. Thanks.